Good to see you all. Thank you for joining in, my one viewer. God, I love you, whoever you are. Please feel free to chime in and say hello. It's great to see you out there in whatever you are in. I'm sure you're fully clothed and doing well. I don't know. What are we going to talk about today? And welcome. So this is episode 3. Thursday, May 20th. I like the Thursday slot here at 11:30. That way you guys can all watch me while you're having lunch. I know I'm a great person to eat to. And so it's I'm an excellent dinner guest. I remember years ago, a friend of mine had a card, Dave Magolian. And all it said was his name and his phone number and excellent dinner guest. I thought that was just a lovely card to hand out because he really was and is an excellent dinner guest. I don't think he watches this, but really just lovely. What are we going to talk about today? We have a special guest, a really exciting guest, my buddy Lori, and you'll meet her a little later. What a amazing woman that does so much and so much good stuff. I met her years ago when I needed someone to work out with, and she was a personal trainer. And what a horrible person, made me do just like the most ignorant things. It was like working out with her was truly like some sort of sadistic punishment. And it really, truly made me love her. So in some sort of twisted way, that worked out for the long run. I don't know how, but we'll bring her in a little bit later. She's got a bunch of stuff to talk about, and she brought some exciting snacks to share, which I just can't wait to try. Well, one I can't wait to try, and one I'm a little nervous about. So just hoping it's not too slippery. But all right, what are we going to talk about? One thing, I guess the top of the list for me that I find the most exciting is the space race to Mars. What? We've got China now with a rover there. I can hardly wait until they get together, and then it's like battle bots. That's what I keep waiting for. But I wonder if either one of them made like a offensive or defensive tool. I'm not going to say anything because I don't want it to be political, but I just think it would be neat if they somehow wrestled, but probably not. It's probably best that they don't wrestle. But it's neat. I think it would sure be cool if they found something besides just like rocks and dust, like an arrowhead, a tool, anything, a spaceman, I don't know what something comes running across the desert at them and just smacks the camera. That would be a real highlight for me. I'm sure it would cause global chaos here, but it doesn't seem like it would cause global chaos because we've got the government now coming out with all their videos of the, they're calling them something, not UFOs anymore. Now they're unidentified aerial phenomenon or something like that, UAPs or something like that. But man, some of these videos are crazy. The upside down pyramid flying around and rotating as it flies, the tic tac that they had the fighter pilots talking about on 60 Minutes the other night, where the guy's saying, they saw it, they flew towards it, it's facing one way, and he said as they got closer, it like boop, flipped and just pointed at them and then flew towards them and started mirroring their flight, and then just like got in front of him and then flew away so fast it just disappeared in the blink of an eye. And I think they figured that the speeds it flew away at, it pulled 700 Gs. Well, I pulled 7 Gs on a roller coaster in New York, and I went to the hospital because it broke my head and I thought I was having a stroke. So can't imagine pulling any more than that, who the hell knows? But then the one that they released yesterday, it showed the spaceship hovering above the water, and you could hear the guys on the Navy ship talking about it. And then it went into the water and they saw the splash and the guy's like, mark range and position, like it's like they weren't kidding. It wasn't like, something that nobody saw. Everybody on the bridge of that boat was actively watching it happen. And when it went in the water, they were like, oh, yeah. So, how exciting. We're not alone. I guess, Stephen Hawking, what was his quote? It's not going to end well if they really are out there, that all of a sudden we're, herded into the trampling pits by the Boston Dynamic robo-dogs. That was, I'll give that one to Andy Tatkow. That was always his quote. When I showed him those robots, he's like, well, they're just going to be herding us into the trampling pit soon. So yeah, thanks, Andy, for that pleasant imagery. I don't know. What else is we talking about? I'm playing Pinball League. Everybody needs to play pinball. It's such a fun thing. And that now here in St. Louis, there's such an amazing places to go up, down in the Central West End. I believe it's called Play in the Grove. You've got where I go is the Silver Ballroom down next to Bevo Mill. And, he has a second one there, and I'm sorry that I can't think of the name of it, but if you just Googled pinball places, I'm sure there's one in your area. Each one of them is going to have a league you can join, but it's like Fred Flintstone, but instead of bowling, you're playing pinball, and it's fun. The place I go is a punk rock pinball bar. Go figure. But that's what it is, and it's really cool. You listen to punk rock, you drink cocktails, and eat delicious Australian meat pies. And I actually get the veggie, which is amazing, and play pinball and socialize. And well, as of now, with COVID, you don't play one ball after another. You play your own game, and then you wear a mask, and it's been very civilized and COVID conscious, which is great. And I've been having a great time with it, and I highly recommend everybody goes out. And that can lead into that neighborhood, Bevo. Went to Das Bevo the other night, had a great time there. They've got these really cool fire pits out on their patio. The windmill was turning, took me back to being a little kid. I think that's just a great establishment. I'm really glad that they've brought it back. Really excited to go there and enjoy it. Where else? Oh, the Bosnian place. Now, I thought I had their menu, but I don't have it here in front of me. But at Rivas Barracks Road and Lime Ferry is a Bosnian place. It's a Bosnian restaurant. And Rick the Barber took me there the other week. And well, just a shout out, Rick's Union Road Barbershop, Union Road in Lindbergh. The two generations of Basile family men have cut 4 generations of the Grasso family hair. So once again, Rick's Union Road Barbershop. He's our official sponsor, home of the red fire truck with the pleasing bell. Be sure to check out Rick's Union Road Barbershop, 894-1217 in the 314 area code. It's amazing. I have his number memorized. Isn't that weird? Well, it's been the same number for a long time. But the Bosnian place, they had this meat pie that comes in a big sheet, right? And it's like the baklava dough. And oh my God, the seasoning and how it was caramelized and how it cooked. I can't stop thinking about it. It was so good. They also had a feta and spinach pie the same way, and they serve it up like in a pizza slice, or the feta one, it comes in a big round, almost looks like a big Danish. But man, it was amazing, and I really enjoyed it. I could not recommend them more. I will post in the notes down below the name of it when I can think of it. If somebody else is Googling here, but nobody chimes in. I mean, you people watching should comment. Tell me I'm an idiot. Anything. It'd be fun. And I guess a couple other things that I want to talk about, money related. Bitcoin. Who else plays in Bitcoin? Bitcoin's crazy. I just put like minuscule amounts of money in Dogecoin when Elon went crazy with it. Save Martha. See if you know what that means. And something called Safe Moon that my buddy Travis suggested. And then he suggested Safe Mars. But, well, we'll see where that goes. I'm not sure I understand it all, but Kim sure has been quite the investment sage with the cryptocurrency. And she did all hers through just getting free coins by signing up for these different, I believe, Coinbase. Like when she signed up for Coinbase, they gave her like $10 in cryptocurrency. And from that, she's grown that $10 into like, I don't know, at least $300 or $400 through Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I think she has a splash of Doge in there as well. But anybody else doing that? Anybody else going crazy with the old Bitcoin? And you have any advice? I'd love to get a Bitcoin sage on here to come in and chime in and give everybody some advice. And I think my last topic here is I went to, I've been going out to music venues and trying to get out and see things. So I went to the Big Top last week. A buddy of mine reached out, took me to see Galactic at the Big Top. And just really great to see them. Good to hang out with him. Ran into some old friends there and actually talked to some of the guys in the band. We used to tour together back in the old String Cheese days, back when everybody was like little kids. Now we're all like adults. And but the Big Top, what a really cool venue. I recommend that you go down there and check it out. It's where they do Circus Flora, a really neat tent, and just a real quality show experience. I really enjoyed it. Can't say enough about it. Oh, Kim just chimed in. Kim says today would be a good day to buy cryptocurrency. Kim, if you have an idea on which one to suggest to our guests, be sure to chime in. So at least we know now who one of our guests is. Hello, Kim. Thanks for watching. And another place we went and looked at was the Foundry, the City Foundry, which is also a really neat venue. But I also saw that in the news that the new mayor of St. Louis is going to maybe reject their TIF funding. How do people feel about tax increment financing and how that works with their community and their tax base? I always think it's interesting in that, I've lobbied for it for some properties. I've been involved in a few TIFs. I think that they are a good way to promote a development and to get development in, especially what might be a blighted area. And, I think that what they're doing at the Foundry and, man, that is, an area that definitely could use some help. And it's a neat property right across the street from IKEA, if you know where it is. If you don't, it's right on Van de Venner, directly across from IKEA, but on Van de Venner. And it's worth going down there and taking a look. It looks like Great Rivers Greenway is moving in there, a bunch of other businesses. It seems like a really neat thing. And then you've got IKEA across the street. And then behind IKEA, you've got that whole Cortex development, which I think has just been a great boon for the city, and I think that's, I don't know. I understand like wanting to protect your community and get as much tax money as you can and not let it go. But then it's also just so important to somehow have a vehicle for developers that get them into an area that, maybe they might not have thought about in the first time. And that TIF money allows that to happen. So that's kind of a really neat thing. Now that I'm a real estate agent, and if anybody needs a real estate agent, be sure to contact Wood Brothers Realty and ask for Joe Grasso, Realtor. I can help you buy, sell, find whatever you want. So today's show also sponsored by Joe Grasso at Wood Brothers Realty. Yes. And you get me and Spot at your service, diligently working for you. Well, that's it for what I have today. I would like to bring in my special guest, Lori Wheeler-Goedeker. And what? Hey. There she is. Hi, Lori.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic.
Oh, it's so great to see you.
Good to see you.
What fun. Yeah, I'm really excited about this because I get to have fun guests that come in and chime in. Now, Lori, I know Lori, a long time ago, I was looking for a personal trainer and I got turned on to Lori. And what an amazing experience that was, because she has the nutritionist background. She's super fit. She's funny. She's got a mouth on her that you have no idea the shit that comes out of that mouth. And
I've been called Sergeant Barbie before.
Such a beautiful woman with such a filthy mouth.
Well, you got to be tough.
And indeed she was.
They got to walk the line.
She would torture me endlessly. I had to run up hills backwards. I remember that one. It was
many things.
Yeah,
many things. I used to sit, and think, how can I really get one on Joe tomorrow?
Yeah, and it was really, really great. But I'm really excited to have Lori here as a guest, and I'm just she has a list of things we're gonna talk about. She's brought some lovely snacks to share. And well, what's on your list? What do you want to talk about?
Spring is here. We're getting into the summertime and everyone's starting their gardens. I've been seeing a lot of pictures lately of people, just their peonies are in full bloom and their gardens are really taking off. And I just want to talk a little bit about, our local scene here as far as, our farmers markets, and there are plenty to be had, but everyone knows of Soulard Farmers Market, which is one of the best in the area.
Right.
And it really has a lot of vendors with a wide variety of, products that are available. Some are organic, some not. I've even seen some Amish booths down there before selling butter and bacon.
I tend to go for the Amish in those occurrences. And I'll also point out Tracy Estelle, she has a booth down at the Soulard Farmers Market selling her tea goods, where she does kettle corn, seasonings, and pork rinds. So today's show brought to you by Tea Goods, Tracy Estelle. Reach out to her down at the Soulard Market on Saturday mornings.
So, several farmer markets in the area, Soulard, of course, and they're only open like Wednesday through Saturday, but there's Kirkwood, Summit Produce is what it's called. They're open daily, and they have a lot of local farmers that work through them, and they even they take part in something called a co-op, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But Tower Grove is great. They're only open on Saturdays. A lot of people have been going to that one. U City has one. Rogers right here in Webster.
Right.
So there's quite a few, even some in Illinois. And I know I've been over there to flea markets before, and some of those people have infiltrated the flea market as well. So you can get, fresh farmers produce there. A lot of them will work with heirloom seeds. And so, it's nice to know where your food's actually coming from, as opposed to just going to Dierberg's and who knows what they've sprayed on it and whatever.
Right.
I think now more than ever, people are really taking more stock in what they're putting in their bodies. And it's become more important. And I think a lot of it just boiled down to education. People just didn't know, where their food came from. They just went to the store and they got it. And they had no idea that, non-organic strawberries are really part of what's called the dirty dozen.
Right.
And you don't really want to get a non-organic strawberry just for all the pesticides that might be in each and every little part of that strawberry.
Absorb.
It's crazy. But, something that kind of sparked me down the food journey and really taking a look at the food was my husband was diagnosed with RA, and he was handed, a handful of pills and said, come back. We're going to have to increase your dosage over the years, but you're going to be on this for life. And he's just said, there's got to be a better way. And I got to tell you, when you completely change your diet, it can be really, it'll stop you in your tracks. So for a while there, we were making black bean and potato burgers. And I mean, I didn't know how to cook that kind of stuff. You know, I mean, it was terrible. So it really has been as several years just educating and seeking out these clean foods in the area. And what a better way than go to your local farmers markets or grow it yourself.
What did he eliminate?
Really everything in the beginning. He eats so if you go to like Whole Foods, they have certain levels, okay, of like their meats. Like a level 4 meat is something that's very, it's pasture raised. They don't get any of this non-GMO feed or anything like that. And you can really taste that flavor. It comes through in the product, whether it be, your chicken, your pork, whatever it is, whatever that animal is eating, it directly correlates to the taste and the flavors in that food. So it's really interesting as he started eliminating these things, how much better he felt. Now, it did take some time. He got in on the beginning once he started to really have symptoms, and it was really, really stacking up against him. I mean, there was a day where he couldn't get out of bed, and he was going to drive himself in to work. He was eating cherries, okay, like organic cherries, because they heard they helped with inflammation. And then he would get in the shower for 45 minutes, run out our hot water heater just to loosen up and then go to work. I'm like, you're not getting in the car. You can't even get out of bed.
Right,
You can't turn your head if you need to. So he had gone to the rheumatologist, got the handful of pills, and he said, there's just got to be another way. So we just really started. That was like day one of our education of, okay, let's really look and find out what we can do just through diet alone. And he takes no pills to this day. He feels great. He's very strict on his diet and what he takes in.
Is he strict or are you strict?
He's very strict. He's very disciplined in it. And he has to be because, he will cheat here and there, and he can definitely tell the difference within a day.
Pain's a good motivator.
It really is.
It really is. Yeah. Pain's a good motivator.
It sure is.
It's like, well, this sure sucks. Yeah. Do you have a favorite farmer's market? Because for me, we've been going to Soulard, but then you can't take a pet, right? And I like to take Spot.
Sure.
So we can go to the Tower Grove and walk around with Spot. And there's actually was even he has a favorite. There's a dog treat vendor there that makes them. And she just loves Spot and his whole Navajo war dog story.
What's not to love about Spot?
Yeah. Yeah. Or Cheyenne. What did I say? Navajo, but Cheyenne. Yeah. War dog story. And so she really enjoys that. So she gives him a lot of treats when he goes. So
each of them have their own things that they, can contribute. Some will have other products that others may not. And that just depends on, their sourcing and who contributes to that market. Depends what you're looking for.
For meats, what do you guys do for meats? Do you go to Whole Foods?
We do largely, or, it's definitely always grass-fed organic beef. We don't get the Deerbergs or, Schnucks beef. We just don't.
I find we looked at trying to find a meat provider, but I don't have a big freezer. So that's what my problem is.
Yeah, well, and so there's also a co-op in the area, and the name escapes me, and I'll send you the link next time and you can pass that along. But there's a butcher that does all this organic grass-fed meats, chicken, pork, beef, and you can put in an order and get like a box, say, okay, I just want some ribs and some hamburger meat and, some chicken breast.
Oh, that'd be great.
You pay a certain fee, then you come and pick it up.
Is it priced decently?
Very nicely.
Really?
Now, it is more on the bulk side. I know you're saying you don't have space, but they'll custom.
Really?
Custom. Absolutely. And it's really nice. It's right here in St. Louis somewhere. They actually also have a restaurant attached, and that's how I found out about it. And I got to talking to the waitress that day.
Well, now I want to know.
And I'll have to come across it. No.
That's expensive.
It is expensive. We love eating there.
Yeah, who doesn't? Yeah. Melanie used to work there.
Did she?
Yeah.
Yeah, my husband can eat there, here and there. But yeah, we like those farm to table type places or something that, is more on the clean side. Definitely wild caught fish. We never get the farm raised stuff because that's just full of antibiotics and whatever.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's do a shout out to the kids. Hi, Melanie. Hi, Joe.
Hi, Audrey. Hi, Owen.
Hi, guys. Yeah, Lori has twins on top of being a nurse and everything else she does. She had twins.
Yeah, while I was training him towards the end, I would waddle in there. Oh my gosh.
I got to go to the bathroom. I'm angry. Yeah.
So I wanted to touch too about the co-ops.
Yes, that's something that I'm really interested in.
That would be something definitely up your alley, since you're not, you live alone, or
right.
You're not going to go and get a bulk.
Well, Kim, we can't discount Kim. Well, Kim, she's here.
You're not going to want,
my girlfriend Kim. Today's show brought to you by Kim Murphy Richardson at HHC Consulting and KimMurphyRichardson.com. Be sure to check her out for all your bookkeeping needs. KimMurphyRichardson.com.
Oh my gosh. So, yeah, they're locally sourced. How it works is the members will either contribute in some way. They either grow some as well and provide it up for sale. They will tend to all the food that's produced. And that's kind of it's a working situation. It's very symbiotic that way.
Right.
And then so anyone who is part of a co-op, they'll pay a small fee or do work, in place of a fee. And then they can go in and they'll either get a box, you can just go and just get a basic, okay, here's what it is for this week.
Yeah, but what's happening now?
Which is kind of nice because everything's really fresh. It's what's uber fresh that week, and you can just build a menu around that. A lot of chefs in the area do that. That's how you get your, special of the day.
Which is neat because you're forced out of your wheelhouse.
You are.
Yeah.
And then you might discover things that you were kind of on the fence about before. And you're like, wow, that's really good. I mean, look at the baklava, Bosnian dish that you fell in love with.
Who the hell knew?
Right.
Bosnians.
You're never going to know unless you get out there and explore.
Yeah. So, yeah. Do you have some you recommend?
There's several. And I mean, you can go on, just even Google, co-ops near me. There's one at Mercy Hospital, and it comes, I think, every third week. Now with COVID, I don't know if they've changed that. I haven't seen it yet again this year, but it's local, and they have eggs, they have bacon. They have, all your herbs and things like that, but you can get corn when it's in season, tomatoes certainly, and they have jams and jellies and things like that as well. There's Family Harvest, which is right in Kirkwood, Grassroots over in Alton, Fair Shares, and then, the items are always usually organic, naturally, and locally sourced. So,
and when you say it's like at Mercy Hospital or in Kirkwood, they just come to a parking lot and do a distribution,
they used to do it in the parking lot, but I don't know why that changed. But now it's in the lobby of the Heart Hospital, which is right next to the ER. So you can go in right there. You can even valet park. They have valet parking right there. And it's right in their lobby of the Heart Hospital at Mercy Hospital on 270 in Ballas. So they've been doing that for years. And it's just a great way, especially for busy nurses. We can't really get out. It's nice to go down there, get your farm fresh eggs, some jam, and some herbs and whatnot, and go back and be on your way. So
neat.
Yeah, it's really quite nice, and they're priced really well.
I think that's the wave of the future here. Where you're getting, because I think it's so important for us to support locally, and that's a lot of why I'm doing this show is. And keeping it kind of St. Louis based, not political, where it's just like, because I can come on here and bitch about shit all day long. I know, right? But it needs to be something that supports St. Louis, supports local communities, supports local business, like today's sponsors. Be sure to check them out. And, kind of grows the community. I think it's important because we all live here. I moved back because I like it here.
Yeah, I mean, if the mom and pop shops go away, what are we left with but big box? And who wants to deal with that every day?
Right.
A lot of our neighbors own these places. And if you like your neighbor, buy their goods.
Now, did you bring snacks to share?
I brought some good snacks. So, little Red Robin Hood here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I brought bruschetta.
Oh,
Depends where you're from. Bruschetta, bruschetta.
Yeah, whether it's a hard C or a small. Well, there's Scott's nose popping up.
Oh, right
there.
Little spot.
He's like, what's going
on? Okay, so what I did, and this is just a classic
garlicky
Italian. Now, bruschetta it's very universal, but there are a lot of variations. So, you can get it with pesto on it, whatever. This is just And Roma tomatoes work best, but I actually used a little something different. These are definitely organic. We have some basil in there, your garlic, salt and pepper, olive oil, of course, and that's it.
Smells delicious.
It's fantastic.
Yes.
So we're going to put a little fresh Reggiano
All right.
on there.
This.
So
How
these
exciting.
are toasted.
Yeah.
I've got a little olive oil and pepper on there. And then we just take a little bit of our yumminess. Oh, yeah. It does. I wish you had smell-o-vision, right?
Yeah.
All right. Giddy up.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh. Wah, wah. Oh, yeah. That's going to be amazing.
Here's to you, viewing audience. Yeah. And thank you, Lori.
Cheers.
Ding.
So I did have this locally once, and they had done a twist on it. I didn't really care for it. It was with pesto, and they had some other funky spices in there. And I went in expecting this version, and it just wasn't. And I was really disappointed. But I've since found that there are several varieties of how to make bruschetta. But this is one of my favorites. This travels well. I take it, on the boat with my girlfriends. It's, great to. I almost brought some wine.
Oh, nice. It's a pet peeve of mine when someone takes something that's really
screw it up.
Cinnamon, nutmeg. It's like in Boulder, Colorado, they put a weird spice at all these fancy restaurants where they're just wiping out what is a great food to try to be different.
Right. Yeah. A classic sometimes just shouldn't be messed with.
Indeed. Yeah.
So.
Like in Colorado, Jack and I would go out to Pasta J's strictly because you get none of that there. It's an amazing restaurant. Pasta J's, one of our sponsors today, Pasta J's, Boulder, Colorado. Really quite an entertaining thing. You've got, my buddy Kevin Daly. He owns all the Mountain Sun pubs out there. And he's another fine example of a great restaurateur and community leader that does a lot of neat stuff in the community, just like we're talking about. He supports a lot of people. And one thing that's really neat about Kevin, I'll give Kevin a shout out. He pays a living wage. He doesn't make it where it's like tip based. He pays I believe $20 an hour.
Wow.
But one of the neat things about Kevin's business is that you don't get hired to be one thing. You have to do every job.
Teamwork.
Yeah, but no, some nights you'll be a server. Some nights you'll be the hostess. Some nights you'll work in the kitchen. Everybody does every job.
That's cool.
They've got a couple of chefs that do a lot of the main cooking, but I think it's an amazing business model and just what a great community leader. Kevin Daly, everybody. Yeah.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the divine elements that make something a classic. You got your salt, your fat, your acid, and your heat. Sometimes your spice. You get 2 or 3 of those that play well together. It really hits the tongue in certain spots, gives you that satiable, just you're really enjoying that bite because it's hitting all those flavor notes on your palate. Too much, too little of any of them, and you'll ruin the dish. Okay. You go too much salt. I mean, you really can't take the salt out of there. It's important to layer things, especially as you're cooking, to really develop a flavor profile, reduce, stocks and things to really get that flavor concentrated. A lot of people don't do that. Your good restaurants do. They take the time.
I think that a lot of that's the Instapot now.
Yeah.
People make a dish in 15 minutes and it's hard to cultivate a real flavor.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Yeah. Anyway, so the bruschetta, you've got your fat, okay, the good Parmesan and the olive oil. We've got our acid and salt, which is a little bit of that tomato.
I'm going to do another one.
Yeah. And so we use normally Roma tomatoes for this because their ability to hold up to that, because it does break down a little bit. When you get all those elements together, it should really kind of mold together for a little while. It's just so that that flavor develops. I made this at 6 o'clock this morning. So it took a little while just to really kind of come together, almost like a chili. It's better the next day.
But it's delicious right now.
Yeah. And the garlic is actually kind of, it can be spicy, you know, if you eat it on its own. So so you've got your heat, your salt, and your fat. You got those 3 gorgeous elements that come together. And that's why this is such a nice, you know, little treat. It's one of my favorites. Yeah. Now I also brought something. We're going to have a couple more of these. We got to save one for Kim though.
I don't think we're going to get through this.
She wanted dibs.
She really did.
But is Kim available to get my Nature's pudding?
Kim, I think you're watching. Why don't you come on down? Oh, Kim commented, nice picnic basket.
Thank you.
And that's something that I thought I've been doing. It's like I made us a picnic basket, you know, and I had a lot of fun hitting the thrift stores and trying to find things that are unique to a picnic basket. I think I'm going to do that kind of as a little side gig is start making themed picnic baskets.
Yeah, this one's lined, and you know, I don't know. I mean, I've had this thing probably going on 30 years.
Yeah, because it's something you keep and you use it, don't you?
I mean, it's fun.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I found I went to this antique mart and I found a Vess soda bottle salt and pepper shaker. I couldn't believe how cool it was, you know. And just like, wow, this is timely. Here, Kim, I'll make you one. I can hear Kim in the kitchen.
And napkins, please. Here's one. We're messy. Thank you. Thank you.
Here, try a bruschetta. Here's Kim.
Yeah, oh, it's so good.
Say hi to Kim, everybody.
Hi. Okay. So, Nature's pudding. Now, I want you both, after your bruschetta, of course, to taste this. That. And I wanted Joe to try and identify, this is made with 4 elements, okay? 4 things, that's it. And I want you to try to identify, you can sniff it. You're gonna dip a little strawberry in there.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna say that in smelling
organic, of course.
It smells just like kind of chocolate pudding. I'm not smelling anything weird in there.
Okay.
I figured she was going to come with chia pudding today. So that was what I was thinking I was going to get with chias. I'm so glad
he doesn't know what this is.
Which chias are just a little on the slippery side for me.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. All right.
So this has 3 of the elements. As far as salt, fat, acid.
I have no idea what I'm eating. It doesn't taste like, because I said no dairy, so I'm assuming the base is going to be
not dairy at all.
Coconutty, maybe.
Nope.
Oh, God, I'm lost. The only thing I can taste is chocolate and creaminess.
Okay.
I give up.
So our fat element is avocados.
What?
Yes, swear to God. Yep. And cocoa. And I use an 80 to 90% cocoa.
Like a powdered cocoa.
Yes. Yes. And then honey. All right, for the sweet. And a little bit of coffee.
What?
Yep. Because that enhances the cocoa flavor. And it helps emulsify. A couple of my avocados were not extremely ripe. But it really didn't matter because I used this in the food processor. The other ones were really ripe, so it just helped bring it together. But the coffee and the honey are going to help that emulsify. I did it till, I mean, this is like a pudding consistency, wouldn't you say? It really
is. What do you make it in?
Just a food processor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
With just the blades?
Swear to God. That's it. Yep.
I'm going to show it again. It is just really delicious.
You can I've dipped these in, like bananas in these, thrown it in my freezer.
Friggin' cardboard would be good dipped in this.
Ooh, doctor. Yeah. Isn't it good?
It really is good.
And that's a good source of fat, right?
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, isn't that amazing?
Does it keep well?
Yeah.
It would have to, right?
Yeah.
Because it's already brown and it's avocado, right?
Yeah. No, it's good.
Yeah.
We eat it within a week. It's gone.
I'm sure.
It does not last in the house.
It's not going to. The kids have to love it.
My kids will even eat it.
Well, because so often what I crave is a chocolate flavor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And this has got that creamy texture. It's almost like a pie filling.
It really is like a pie filling.
So, I mean.
I wonder how it would work for that. Like,
I wouldn't bake it.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would bake it. However, you could put it in between some phyllo and put it in your fridge and
I just wonder
Crisp that
how
up.
it would bake. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Jen
Yeah.
the Baker, are you watching this? Chime in below on how you would think this would bake into a like a dish or a croissant, you know.
Yeah.
Jen the Baker, one of today's sponsors, Jen the Baker, Boulder, Colorado. Look her up at boy, I wish she had jenthebaker.com. I'd say that, but if you don't have jenthebaker.com, Jen, I think you ought to get it. So we'll be looking for you at jenthebaker.com. Yeah, for Jen's baking deliciousness. Jen the Baker, everybody. Well, I don't know anything else. We're at 40 minutes. It's my longest show yet.
Wow. How about that?
I know, right?
Woo!
Well, I am going to touch base on that you're a nurse and that you're a badass for doing that.
Ooh,
and especially throughout this whole process and all you've gone through. You know, I watched we cry.
Oh.
I watched a lot of your videos
and
your comments, you know, about what you've gone through and how hard it's been.
It was really scary in the beginning. You know, I did consider for a moment, oh, this isn't worth it. I'm going to quit. Yeah. And then, you know, I thought about my nursing oath and I'm like, but what if we all quit? Then what? Right. There's still, I'm like,
then it's like Escape from New York. Yeah.
And then I'm like, you know, what if my kid's laying in that hospital? People need to be there, man. Right. You know, so I just pulled up the big girl panties and said, all right, what you got, bitch? Let's go. Yeah. You know? And
let's just talk about something funny that's not funny. You broke your toe tripping over the dog.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. She's sitting here with a boot on and a pin sticking out of her big toe.
Good times. Did that on Mother's Day. Yeah, that was fantastic. And the good news is
I don't need to laugh, but
the pin's coming out 2 days before we go to Florida vacation. So thank the Lord. You know,
I really found it exciting when they pulled the pins out.
Really?
Because he just friggin' grabbed them and pulled. And I was like, wait! And he was like, one's out. And I was like,
no. I know. I Googled it and I should not have done that.
Oh, no. Big mistake.
I asked, this gal that I saw on the video had like 5 of them. And they were the size of a, skewer. I mean, like a
skewer.
A kebab skewer.
Yeah, exactly like it.
And they didn't number up. They didn't anything. The gal's like twisting it. And I'm like, nope. And then she just
pulled it right out.
I said, okay, I'm definitely taking a couple of pain pills when I go in that day. And I'm having someone drive me because that's crazy.
But it really didn't hurt. But
because your bone doesn't have any feeling, It's just that little skin attachment right on the outside.
It was that internal pulling sensation that was odd.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, indeed.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Well, right underneath your toenail.
Love you so much.
Love you too.
Proud of you and glad you're my friend. And thank you for coming and joining us today.
Sure. Good to see you.
Everybody out there, we're going to keep eating. And thanks for tuning in. Share the show with your friends. And
stay safe, everybody.
Yeah, have a good day. End stream. And now I'm not ended till I push that button. So bye.